Hello, my name is Justine Vivian. Welcome to my channel. Today we are going to be doing a natural makeup look with a hint of glitter. Let's go ahead and get started. So starting off with the face, I'm going to be using my e.l.f. primer, my Covergirl Trublend concealer, my Maybelline Fit Me foundation in natural beige, and finishing it off with my e.l.f. setting spray. For contour, I'm going to be using e.l.f.'s bronzer palette in deep bronzer. For highlight, I'm going to use Laura Geller's Dripping in Gold Trio, and for blush, I'm going to use Honeysuckle by Laura Geller. Moving on to eyes, I'm going to be using e.l.f.'s Lash Extending Mascara in black. For eyebrows, I'm going to be using e.l.f.'s Clear Gel, and for eyeshadow, I'm going to be using Too Faced Chocolate Bonbons palette. For lips, we will be keeping it simple with some Chapstick and a lip plumper in the color Taupe. So starting off with that primer, I'm going to gently place it all over my face, specifically targeting my nose as that's where I get the most redness. Then I'm going to move on to that concealer. With this, I'm going to be working towards getting my under eyes covered the most, as well as any blemishes I may have. Again, focusing on my nose because it gets the most redness. And then I'm also going to add some to my eyelids to use as a base for my eyeshadow. I'm going to blend it all in with the Beauty Blender. Okay, then we're going to move on to foundation. I'm going to use a little bit. I don't like to add a lot of foundation onto my face. It just makes me feel really cakey, and I don't like that. So I'm just going to use a little bit just to even out my skin tone. Again, we're going to blend it all out. I also like to get some on my ears because my ears get really red. Okay, and then we're going to spray it all down with my setting spray. Let that dry. And now we'll move on to our contouring. So I'm going to be starting off with my e.l.f. bronzer. I usually stick with these two colors. So since I am going for a more natural look, I'm going to use this one, which is the lightest one of the palette. So I'm going to be focusing on the hollows of my cheeks, my temples, the sides of my nose, and below my jawline. Next, we'll be moving on to my favorite part, the highlighter. So today I'm going to be using this gold color called Golden Gleam. This one right here. And with my highlighter, sometimes I like to use my hands to get more of a smoother look. Today I'm just going to be using the same brush I used for my bronzer. And for the highlighter, I'm going to be focusing on my cheekbones. As well as the very tip of my nose, very lightly. And then I'm going to use my finger for this part. I'm going to be focusing also on the Cupid's bow. And then finally, we're going to go in with that blush. For the blush, I like to go light and focus on the apples of my cheeks. And usually I like to bring it all the way up towards my temple just to blend it in and make it natural. Now we'll move on to eyeshadow. So for the eyeshadow, I'm going to be using that Too Faced Chocolate Bonbons palette. I'm going to start off using Mocha as my base, and then I'm going to add Molasses Chip to my lids, and then finally finish off with some sprinkles for the inner corner of my eye. So let's start with Mocha. I'm going to put this all over my eyes, including my eyebrow bone. I also like to add some under my eyes just to make it all look like it's together and natural. Now we're going to go in with that Molasses Chip. For this one, I'm going to be focusing on my eyelids as well as my eyebrow bone. For my eyebrow bone, I like to use my pinky just because it's easier to get inside of there, not make a big mess. I'm going to add more of the Mocha into my eyelids just to make it a little bit more smoky. And then we're going to finish it off with some sprinkles in the inner corners. As well as a little bit on the eyebrow bone. Now I'm going to bring in my Laura Geller highlighter, and again I'm going to use that Golden Gleam just to bring in my highlight into my eyes. So again, focusing on that brow bone. As well as the eyelids. Moving on to my favorite part of the eyes is mascara. For me, I really like to focus on the outer corners of my eyes to give it more of that doe eye look. So I'm just going to do a light coat on the inner side of my eye, and then 2 coats for the outer part of my eyelashes. just do a light coat on the bottom. Okay, next we're going to go on to eyebrows. For me, since I already have dark eyebrows that are pretty full, I just use some gel to shape them. But if you want, you can use an eyebrow pencil if you need to add more color. So I'm just going to brush this over my brows. And then use my spoolie to shape them how I'd like. I also like to use the spoolie to brush through my lashes just to make them look more fuller and not super clumpy. Finally, we're going to spray everything down with that setting spray. And we will move on to lips. So for the lips, I'm going to be starting off with Chapstick just to keep my lips moisturized because they get really chapped. Blend that in, and then I'm going to take that lip plumper. If you want lip gloss, you can use lip gloss. If you like to use lipstick, that is fine as well. I just like to keep mine pretty natural with a little gloss. And that is the final look. Hope you guys enjoyed. If you have any suggestions or things you want to see in my next video, go ahead and leave a comment below, or you can go to my Instagram and DM me.